Now, Barry, there's so much tradition and lore there, but if you think there's tradition and lore there now, you should have been there before they renovated the place. In 1964, I played in the World Series with the Cardinals against the Yankees, and as a 21-year-old walking into Yankee Stadium, the reverence with which you hold the place is unbelievable. It's like walking into a cathedral.
Let me ask you about the 1968 World Series, which you also played in with the Cardinals. We use the term killer instinct a great deal in a lot of sports in describing athletes, but you don't hear it too much in baseball. And yet, the performance of Bob Gibson in the first game in the 1968 World Series, and you, of course, were the catcher, probably indicates that if there is ever a killer instinct in this game, it was there on that day.
Well, of course, Bob Gibson holds a strikeout record. He struck out 17 Detroit Tigers that day. And I never will forget Willie Horton being the last hitter of the game. He took a slider on the inside part of the plate, and it broke so much that to this day I know Willie Horton thinks the ball hit him.
I would have to think that the 1981 World Series is also going to be, as the pitchers go, so goes the winning team. A lot of arms, particularly with the New York Yankees, and all those arms and all those bats have peaked right at the right time. As the Yankees headed to Milwaukee, they faced the task of overcoming their own sluggish second half and a Brewer team brimming with confidence. The New Yorkers did that and more as they put their highly touted talents to work, making a number of circus-style plays that choked off Brewer rallies. At bat, the New Yorkers jumped on Milwaukee mistakes for some big hits. The real difference was pitching, especially relief pitching, as Goose Gossage teamed up with Ron Davis for nearly 8 innings of shutout ball, and the Yankees returned to New York 2 games up with 1 win to go. But the Brewers weren't ready to call it a season quite yet, as they let loose with a little Bronx-style bombing of their own. A 3-run scoring burst in the 7th inning of Game 3 ended a 19-inning scoring drought for the Brewers and put them on the track to even up the series. Coming through from the bullpen was Raleigh Fingers, whose win in Game 3 and save in Game 4 helped the Brewers bring it down to 1 game. And the thought of losing that game was driving George Steinbrenner batty. Some well-chosen words from the boss had the Yankees keyed up the next day, but staying cool was Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, who came up to bat in the 4th inning of Game 5, looking for something big. The smile tells it all as Jackson takes time to admire his handiwork, a 2-run homer that tied the game and set the Yankees rolling. But even with a 5-3 lead in the 8th, all was not safe for New York as Goose Gossage worked with Milwaukee runners on 1st and 2nd. Don Money lifts a fly to left, but what might have been a 3-run homer just ends up as a long inning-ending out. And even though they had another chance in the 9th, it was apparent that the Brewers were tapped out. The Yankees went on from there to cap off a 7-3 win, giving them their 5th division title in the last 6 seasons. For the Yankees, it was on to the American League Championship Series to face the Oakland A's and hold a reunion with an old friend, Billy Martin, whose aggressive style of managing had won him praise nearly everywhere. But those Yankee Stadium signs might have been prophetic, as the hustling Oakland club ran smack into a Yankee team that was doing everything right. Dave Winfield's spectacular catch in Game 2 set the tone of the series that was dominated by the Yankees both in the field and at the plate, where New York's heavy hitters amassed 20 runs in 2 games, batting .336 over the course of the competition. The Yankees had their way in everything as they roughed up what was clearly a worn-out Oakland pitching staff. Yankee pitching sometimes seems like a bottomless well of talent. When Rudy May found trouble in Game 2, out popped George Frazier, the Yankees' long reliever. Frazier shut down Oakland for 5 2/3 innings as the Yankees trounced the A's 13-3. With New York 2 games up, the series moved to Oakland. On the mound for the A's in Game 3 was Matt Keogh, whose first pitch of the game served notice that the A's didn't intend to go down without a fight. The A's may be feisty, but the Yankees weren't intimidated. In the 6th, Willie Randolph, who'd been demoted to the 9th slot in the order, showed that he still had some pop in his bat as he landed what was just his 3rd homer of the year, giving the Yankees a 1-0 lead. As it turned out, that 1 run was plenty, In the ninth, Goose Gossage was on hand to finish off a 4-0 Yankee victory, and for the 33rd time in their illustrious history, the Yankees had won the American League pennant.
Well, the Yankees just doing everything right in that series with the Oakland A's. I mean, they surgically took the A's apart, swept them, wind up in the World Series. We have enjoyed